Okay, yeah. This is it. Breaking down someone's credit report live. This is what people join the credit code for. So before we scroll down, this is an actual subscribers report. I changed everything on it so it's not or credit code members report, not just YouTube subscriber. I changed everything on it so you guys can't see his information. But before we go down there, I want to give you guys the understanding of credit in general. So I'm going to tell you like what to do, how to remove anything off credit. Debt is not real. With just what you're going to learn in this video, you will not have to pay debt ever again. I'm not saying that you should take this information and then go try and get in $50,000 or $100,000 worth of debt and remove it all. You do that once, you'll get away. But if you're purposefully abusing the law to run off with money, yes, that's illegal. And do some people do it? Yes. But I want to motivate you guys to take the 20, 50,000 and then become business owners. Try your best with the business. If the business fails, use the law to get out of it. After this video, you will never have to pay debt again. Now that sounds too good to be true. I'm going to break down all the reasons why it sounds too good to be true. First off, it seems like, oh, why is some dude on the internet? Why are you willing to tell me this for free? I'm not. I'm giving you a lot. I'm giving you something that's going to be able to help you so you know it's real, but I'm not. There's a lot more shit that I'm not just giving for free because why the fuck would you? And second question, okay, if you really actually care about me, why aren't you getting it for free? It's because of this reason. And it's not just because I want to charge money. It's more than worth it, but this is the real reason. Let's take a look here. This is a video from, I believe, 2011. Credit repair, aka people getting in debt and just saying, get the fuck off my credit report to the debt, has been around not just since 2011, since forever. I want you to pay close attention to what this guy's gonna say here.
Over and over, surely they would eventually catch on and start ignoring those letters. And that is exactly what eventually happened. The credit bureaus caught on.
The credit bureaus caught on. Basically what he's saying is, before 2011, it was so easy to dispute credit. This is why the credit code is a course. This is why it's not just a YouTube video. It's because disputing debt takes so long to explain, and disputing it right to actually do it right takes even longer to explain. But it used to be as simple as writing a letter to the credit bureau saying, hey, this debt's not mine, and they wipe it right off. What happened? People started sharing these letters. Oh, you got that debt removed, bro? Give me the letter you use. Okay, here's the letter. Oh, I got to remove too. I'm going to give this to another person. They keep giving it to more and more people. Now the credit bureaus realize, holy shit, all these people are getting away with all this debt. How's that happening? So they made it harder. To answer your question, why am I not giving it for free? I know that if I put the real sauce that's in the deeper levels of the credit code out to everyone and any credit code member who's not on some fuck shit and trying to sell the courses, DM me if you haven't received the deeper levels of sauce yet, or email me, excuse me. Yes, a lot of you would take action on the information and remove all your debt. Cool. But then some of you, you're going to take that as an excuse to go get more debt and ruin the credit system. The credit system is already as tough as it is because people back here were using these letters and not using the fact that I got a $50,000 extra life. I got a $50,000 head start. Let me try and flip it into 100. They would just try and steal 50,000 again. So that's the first reason. I don't want to give that information out and you guys screw around with it. Second, as soon as you give the information out, as soon as you hand somebody that letter that they can use to wipe off their credit and they hand it to someone else, everybody's gonna have it. Once you put it out in the open, everybody's gonna have it, and it's not going to work anymore, and we're gonna have to come up with a new method. Last reason, and this is the most important,
ma'am,
and we're gonna talk a lot more about this later. A lot of y'all just aren't trusting. I'm not saying you should trust me if my content hasn't directly improved your life yet, but this is a bigger reason. This is the problem with skepticism.
Here you go. You can have it.
She thinks that's just a piece of candy. This is a big jeweler in New York. He was in the movie Uncut Gems. He's literally handing her a $650,000 gold bar. I know he would have been mad. I would have been mad if I had to give that $650,000 away. But he does this. He does these videos to prove that even if you're offering people free thousands of dollars, people just naturally get uncomfortable and nervous about somebody offering something. Hey, here it is. Hey, this is too good to be true. The most important thing for success is getting that idea, getting those ideas and that type of thinking the hell out of your brain. Do not go through life thinking things are too good for you. Things are too good to be true for you. I think the opposite. When someone offers me something great, I think, no, give me 10 times that. Give me double at least. I deserve more. I deserve it all. I'm going to grind for it all and work for it all, but it should be given to me. I deserve it all. That's how I think. I think things should come to me. Once you start to think like that, things will start to come to you. And it sounds like bullshit. And I thought it was bullshit, but everybody richer than me seems to believe in this universe, quantum laws of physics, metaphysical manifestation shit. So I just took it from them.
Holding you back. Look at these people. He's basically handing out $2,000 bills. He heard him say it, so he took it. He's trying to get them, he's trying to make sure they don't take the gold by offering it to them more aggressively. This makes no sense according to our human understanding of the world. That's why this has 1.6 million likes, is because we think, damn, I want good things. I want my life to change. I want someone to offer me thousands of dollars. I could use it right now, but we are so used to the system, and this is how they hold us down. This is why it used to be this easy to remove your debt back then. Now there's tons of steps that we have to take. It used to be this easy to get rid of debt back then. You would just walk to a different merchant. They didn't even have a combined list. Now there's more complex than a Transformer Megatron. It has 1,000 different little things and steps that you have to look at and pick apart. But all that stuff is only there to hold people like us back. People who know that the system is rigged and don't want to break the system or commit crime, but want to bend the system in our favor. But you have to understand and truly believe that the system is bendable. I told you guys I was gonna get a Bentley. I showed you guys the Bentley. I'm still actively giving away the Bentley. I'm showing you a gold bar, but some of you are gonna see a cheap piece of plastic. Most of those people who turned the gold bar down probably didn't even think gold bar. They probably didn't even look. They probably thought it was a business card. The system is going to show you thousands of dollars in debt you have to pay, or years and years that you have to wait for these debts to be removed off of your credit report. I'm going to show you a clear path with each step laid out to removing every single drop of debt. Now let's start. So now you understand and you're starting to believe that it actually is possible to remove any debt. Now, before you start thinking about all of the different possibilities that you can get into, some of which are very enticing, with that new reality, it's not as simple as a dude handing you a gold bar. That was done for social media. That was for a video. The actual credit system isn't actually that simple. There are unfortunately a lot of steps, but there's a beautiful thing about that. And the best way to explain that is with locks. This is the biggest lock picking guy on YouTube. He knows everything about locks and picking. He's picked the toughest locks in the world to pick. And this is the lock that he uses for his bike. And he has $1,000 bikes, he says. This is him picking it. The multi-lock MT5 lock is the most difficult lock to pick. And here it is, him picking it in 8 minutes. Why am I saying this? The lock industry knows that most locks are pickable if the person is good enough to pick them. This is the same as the credit industry. Credit bureaus and how they're reporting your score is the lock. The pick is the methods we use to get them to report the scores that they want. So one of the picks that used to work really well was just simply sending the same letters over and over again. Now we do still send letters, but they're way more advanced now. Just like this lock was the best lock 8 years ago, but the best lock now is even more complex. And the best lock 10 years before then was less complex. But the point is, there's always going to be new locks and they're always pickable. There's always going to be new verification methods that the credit bureaus use, or they're gonna try and make things harder for you, like we're gonna talk about later with TransUnion making it so difficult for you to get your report. There's a reason why they're doing that, but they're always going to try and make the lock stronger, and we're always going to come up with better picks. But the simple fact is, if you put in the effort, you put in the time, which is a lot of time, you can get into any lock. Because the purpose of a lock is not actually to be unpickable. This is the most common lock company. You've seen this lock at construction yards where thousands of dollars worth of expensive equipment is locked up. You've seen it on schoolyards. You've seen this lock everywhere. This lock can be opened with a zip tie. The purpose of a lock is not to actually lock anything up. The purpose of a lock is to make you think you can't unlock it. Just like the people who were handed the gold bar expected that he was gonna scam them or he wanted something from them because they never even considered that there was another option. And it's the same way these credit bureaus never actually expect you to dispute. And that's the real reason that it's not too good to be true. That's the real reason that it actually is so easy. Not easy, it does take time, and you have to follow all of the steps exactly, which is why I'm gonna give you the specific steps. But it's way easier than cheaper than actually paying off $50,000 worth of debt. But it's even 1,000. But the point is, it's a bullshit lock. They're just putting it, the lock is bullshit. The idea of the debt is bullshit. They're just putting it there because they know 90% of people, when they see a lock, will not try and break in. 90% of people, when they tell them you have to pay the debt, they're just gonna say okay and pay it. Laziness is also a huge factor. These are the next two studies. We just have less mental attention. It's kind of normal to be on social media. You're gonna miss out on a lot of things if you don't, but social media literally makes us dumber. Work productivity is way lower. Screen time is way up, and it's causing not only mental health issues, but mental health degradation. And screen time has gone up 30 to 40% since the pandemic. What does that mean? That means that people aren't even going through the effort to get a zip tie and cut the little things cut the little triangles into the zip tie to open up the lock. They're not even trying that much. They're not even putting in the bare minimum to clean their credit report. They wouldn't even watch this video where I break it down for free. They'd rather, because the TikTok of some ass is more entertaining to them. I've already done the hard part for you. I made the entertaining content for you to grab you and get you here to break it down. I just need you to keep watching, pay close attention. And one more thing. I said it was free. I fucking lied. It's $1,000. Pay me $1,000. No, I'm kidding. But it is $5. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna go over a credit report live in this video. But to be honest, for a couple of reasons I'm going to tell you, there may be a low chance you actually execute on it. You may even click off this video right now because it might be getting a little bit boring and you go back to scrolling and you just pay that debt over and over again over time. You keep going through life with your negative credit score that doesn't allow you to get Bentleys or at least a Hellcat from credit. So I need $5. The removal of credit is a multi-step process that can be explained in one video, as it will be, but can't be done and executed within a 1 hour video, and requires a personalized direct plan for you and your exact situation with goals. That $1,000 call, that $10,000 call, or however much your debt is, 50,000, 100,000, is only $5. And it's really just to make sure you guys are serious. If you feel like we wasted your time, I'll send you the $5 back. Like, I don't need $5 fucking. But I do need that level of investment from you. I don't need you to grab the gold bar from me right away, but I need you to at least stop and look. Okay, now let's get into the exact specifics of how we're going to remove any negative item from a credit report. And it all breaks down to this, the law, right? People, rich people in particular, are abusing the law, right? But not just, and I don't mean financially rich, I mean mentally rich. People who make themselves rich, people who get money and keep money, do so with knowledge. And the knowledge they use isn't usually in their own heads. Like, I didn't just start reading the Fair Credit Reporting Act one day. You know who did though? A lawyer. That's how this whole game started. Some dude hired a lawyer. That lawyer looked over the act and said, you can do this, this, and this in that law. That law says this, this, and this. And they're breaking the law. Because nobody looks at the law. Think about it. What's the last time you got caught for jaywalking? Jaywalking is illegal. Most people are never actually looking at the law and following it. But Iman says, but while you can remove debt just by catching them breaking laws, there is one level above that, right? We don't want to just remove debt. We want to be able to get as much money as possible from these guys. There's something beyond just removing debt. Pay attention.
Ever watched it?
Hurry up, bro. Hurry up.
Explain law, and then
there's law, and then there's law and practice. How are they enforcing these laws? This was exclusive credit code info, giving it for free. You credit code guys, the deeper, higher level credit code info, email me personally for it. We don't want fuck niggas who are gonna leak the course to have access to that. But this is or was our number one dispute method, how we made sure shit got off. And it wasn't regular complaints like you'll see the average people do, but it's this, law and practice, right? You could get a ticket for jaywalking. If a cop sees you, right? The credit bureaus report your information inaccurately all the time. And they could get caught for it. If someone sees them, who's the cops for them? Who are they scared of? Who are the people who give these credit bureaus fines or put them in jail or punish them however they punish them? It's the CFPB. This is probably the only place on the internet you're gonna find FCRA laws. In fact, if you Google any FCRA law, who's the first person that comes up? Let's see. Well, it's not first, but if you ask any normal credit question, you'll see the CFPB is the one covering all of this, right? It's not just a ton of legal terminology and weird symbols. It's actually words that you can read and understand as a normal guy. So they're on your side. Just like if someone steals your bike and you don't know what to do with them, the credit bureaus report your information wrong and you don't know what to do with them, you call the cops. These are the cops to call. Snitch. But how exactly do you use this, right? Like what is the exact dispute process look like? Well, this is how you supercharge the dispute. This is the sauce on top. But what is the barbecue rib, right? What is the meat of it? It's just sending letters to the credit bureaus. It's like actually that easy. Honestly, I would ask AI to generate. If you're not in the credit code and you don't have access to the credit AIs, I would ask AI to generate a letter. That'll be better than some of the free letters you'll see on YouTube or Google, because like those letters like be having typos and shit. Like it just seems very unprofessional. Keep in mind we're dealing with the law here, so you want it to seem like it's damn near from a lawyer. Maybe it's even a strategy to pretend like you're gonna sue these. Well, let's not even get too deep into that. But that's how we really put our foot in their ass. But deeper than the letters, you need to understand the system that these bureaus are currently using and why we have to go so hard on them and why letters alone don't work. I was dealing with a credit code member today, getting their TransUnion report, and they had trouble getting their TransUnion credit report. A lot of other people you see right here, they're having this issue too. Like they're making, and keep in mind this is the full report, the annual credit report, not just what you can see on Credit Karma or Experian, because these apps are traps to make you think that this little bit of information, these like almost like the kiddie version of a credit report, that this is enough for you to be able to weaponize the reports against them, right? Like why why would Experian, who gets paid for the accuracy of their credit reporting information, make it easy for you to dispute things and remove things that may be accurate information, right? This is like a guy robs you and then you start paying him for protection so that he won't rob you anymore. It's like, why would he not just rob you again? So they're making this, so they're purposefully making it so much harder in every way they can to go against this. And here it is right here. You get your full credit report from annualcreditreport.com, or I prefer Identity. Well, Identity IQ is like a good start. It's a great start, but an Identity IQ report will be around 10 pages long, above that. But a full credit report, like I said, will be 120 pages long, 40 pages roughly for each bureau, and like even longer than that a lot of times. The more information they give you, and I'm saying something very powerful right now, the more chances they have to screw up, the more inaccuracies you can find, the more things you can remove from your credit report. This is why if you dispute once and it doesn't work, get the fucking credit code. Don't leave it up in the air whether your dispute's gonna work. But even if you don't, okay, this dispute came back as verified, it's actually your debt because this information was matched to this information. They have to match it with eOscar. That's why you freeze all the tertiary bureaus. It's a lot to talk about. Get on a call. But like LexisNexis, Sage Stream, or they're a part of LexisNexis now, CoreLogic, all these other bureaus, that's how they're gonna check if the information's yours. So freeze all those. But besides that, freeze all of those. That's another important step too. I don't want to miss any steps, but I don't want to give you guys extra steps you don't need. Freeze all of those so that when they go to try and verify the inaccuracy, they're not going to be able to check, because who do they verify with? Is there a magic US government list that says every single time a person borrowed money and every single time they didn't make a payment? No, there's these tertiary bureaus that do it. Freeze all those so they can't confirm those that really not only want to get access to a lot of capital, but have a good plan of what to do with it. You can ask about next steps we can take from the call. If you have like almost no money, don't spend your last 500 on the credit code. If you have a few thousand, spend. So there, that's it. I just gave you all the information you need to remove. So there, I just gave you all the information you need to remove whatever you want to remove from your credit report, but it's worthless. Up until this point, I've actually completely wasted your time. Not because the information is not accurate, but because number one, good information is in pyramids. Even within the credit code, like I said, I keep the best shit. Try to hit me up for it directly because we don't want credit code infiltrators taking that information. And whether you go on YouTube or in other people's courses, like I buy all of my competitors' courses to make sure I have the best information. And sometimes even on YouTube, I'll find a piece of information that was only even in my course. But I'll find information in their courses that I have as well. And I'll be like, I'll know I'm keeping you guys at the top of the curve. But we all keep it inside courses because just like the canned letters method, just like this method, all the way back in the 1800s when Experian was founded, if you put a method out in everyone's hands, that method will get burnt out fast. Everyone will start using it. The credit bureaus will catch on. But the last reason this video up until now was a complete waste of time is it takes a ton of time to master and execute. I can give you the information. In fact, a lot of credit code members, ones that aren't grinding as hard, ones that didn't take the course 3 or 4 times and take notes, will ask me questions and I'll answer. But it's like, I've already answered that question in the course 3 different ways. You're just not getting it because it takes a ton of time to master information. And that's why the credit code's worth it. Not because, oh, it's the best information. No, because it's the most condensed source of information. Every single other credit course, reading all these other laws. The simple fact is AI is reading books for me now. AI is reading over all these laws for me now, and it's extracting the best information because we're out of time. We are in the last 3 fucking years of human history. So if 500 is a lot for you, 500 was a lot for me at a lot of points in life too. I'm not talking down on anybody for that. Hold your fucking head up high and get in this AI course free. It's not fucking pay me for the AI course. Now, as of now, right now, it's free. It's going to be $100 soon. When it goes to that price, all of the existing credit AIs will be put in this course. Not only that, specific information on how to use Claude web apps and make money with those. People are already selling these web apps for $10,000 and they literally just thought of an idea or took someone else's idea that they wanted to execute, typed out the idea, typed out the exact graphic design style so it looks good, and the AI made it for them. Riley Brown did this on YouTube and he said it took him 10 hours. We're doing it faster than that. And if you have a Claude account, I'm hiring. Email me, artofwealthchannel@gmail.com. But as of now, AI is the easiest way to make money. AI sales bots, Claude, there's so many ways to make money with AI. And there's going to be an episode in here in the free version before we up the price that covers the main ways that people are actually using AI to make money now. We all know AI is a genius. AI is going to fucking take over everything. We all know that, but how exactly is it going to happen? Some people are going to wait on that answer. Some people are going to wait for the next ChatGPT. Other people are going to use ChatGPT or Claude, which is like way better right now, and use it to its biggest extent so that when the new powerful AI version comes out and everybody realizes how easy it is, you're going to be so far ahead because you already mastered using the older version. Now, if I'm putting all the credit AIs that are exclusive to Credit Cult members in the $100 AI course, what is the, well, to answer that question, I have to answer this. Why does it make any sense for you if all this information is out there, which it is? All this information is out there on the internet. Now, some of it's in YouTube videos, which are easy to find. Some of it's in podcasts, which are harder to dig through. You got to listen through the whole podcast. I've listened to literally every single credit podcast. Some of it's in books. Some of it you kind of need an AI to read over it for you because the legal language gets so complex, it's confusing. And that's the reason why. Time, the credit generator is 0.8, 500 plus chats. People are already running it the fuck up off this, right? But let's ask that credit generator, how long it would take you to learn this information. That's the biggest issue. Credit Cult members who have access to the information are still asking me for help. So that's why for the first time I'm offering, get on the call. I don't want to promise. It may be filled up actually, and this is not fake scarcity. Like, I actually am busy all day, 24/7. I don't have much time in a day. But for those of you who already have something going, I'm not just accepting money from anybody and want to get to where they're going as fast as possible. This is Cubby AI, by the way. This is the AI. Shout out Truman, the CEO of Cubby. We're in talks with him. If you guys want to get plugged in, let me know. Cubby is the AI that takes a YouTube video, whether it's 10 minutes long or 10 hours long, and allows you to search for exactly what you want. So if you're watching the credit podcast and you are in the middle of a credit dispute and you only want information about disputes, you can search dispute, and out of that whole 10 hours where these two people know about credit and there's valuable information in there, but you don't want to listen to them talk about other types of credit or how the fuck they're doing today or the chain he just bought. You just want to hear about disputes. Cubby will show you every single time a certain keyword is mentioned. It'll break down all the videos and the topics. So now we were already ahead of the competition, but now I'm using this tool to research for you guys. Like, when I say we are on top of AI, we are on top of it. Nobody that I've seen is coming fucking close. And after the new apps we're going to be putting into the credit quote, they won't even have a chance to catch up. But you see here, the private investigation skills, we're going to talk a bit about that later. That's how I can guarantee for the higher tier that I'm going to be able to knock anything off. I'm like this nigga. Now, I don't threaten like random people. I don't like threaten people in general. It's just, or like I'll make like legal threats and shit. Like, I'll never break the law like him. He was like doing crazy shit, like saying he's gonna like kill people. It's not necessary to break the law or even physically harm a person in order to ruin their fucking life. And it almost never gets to that point with these credit bureaus. That's what I'm talking about. Getting to that point with these credit bureaus. Rich people do it all the time. Logan Paul doesn't like CoffeeZilla, so he's suing him, right? He's breaking the law to use it against people. The only difference in what this guy did and what we do to the credit bureaus on the highest level is he's breaking the law to punish people. We're using the fact that they already broke the law to punish them. But yes, we will do whatever it takes to get shit off. And most people get everything they want off with just a dispute. This is like this lock, right? This is an insanely expensive lock. It's made by the company that makes the biggest lock core, but they just forgot the fact that some niggas are just gonna bust through. Like, a lot of times we just get debt removed by going hard on the debt collectors, especially when it's definitely not your debt. If it's in question, was this right? Was this wrong? We don't want to go this hard. But if it's definitely not your debt, you come at the debt collectors, right? And you say the right thing, and they do not want to go through hell, and we can put them through that. So yes, anything is removable. But the rest of these skills, learning all of this would take so long. And this says 380 hours, working 40 hours a week. Okay, so it's like around 6 months, and that's around how long it took me. I was doing it like every day, watching every credit podcast. But it'll take around 6 months to really master this information. Which is the true value of the course. You're not having to learn it all yourself and then learn all the implementation yourself. You're either getting access to AIs that'll do it for you with the credit code, and then in the final stage, the web apps that we're going to build for you. And if any credit code members are just watching this for extra sauce and you're interested in the web apps, email me. I'd love to show you guys what we have so far. But you're getting the implementation. So whether it's me doing it for you personally, book a call, or an AI doing it for you, that's what we have now, or the app that's going to allow you to just upload your long ass 120-page credit report, and instead of one of us having to look over it for you, the AI just breezes through everything, lets you know the exact inaccuracies to pinpoint, writes the letters for you. It's one-click buy. Either way, it's going to save your time. And keep in mind, this is the last 3 years of human society as normal. AI is already smarter than doctors. Look up Med Agent Zero. If you haven't heard of it, there's a reason you haven't. If you don't know what Anthropic Claude is, there's a reason you don't. They're not trying to put this shit in the forefront because people are gonna start panicking. But the simple fact is, if you find Med Agent Zero, and you can find this on Google, it's not me pulling this out of my ass. an AI off of GPT 3.5, or excuse me, GPT 4, not 4.0, not Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which is better than GPT 4.0, just GPT 4 regular. Beat doctors at diagnosing the main diseases humans deal with: heart disease, COPD, that's chronic bronchitis, COVID, and an agentic framework. Now, the average person doesn't know how to do all this and figure all this out and use the AI in all these complex ways, so they never tried it. But these agentic workflows are only going to get more and more prevalent and more easy. And when they do, all of these college jobs that people have are going to get replaced. JP Morgan and Chase already saved $285 million last year. Look this up, I'm not making it up, using AI instead of actual lawyers. $285 million they saved replacing lawyers with AI. Everybody was saying lawyers would never get replaced. It requires you to be smart to be a lawyer. Well, isn't AI an infinite brain? If AI is beating doctors and doctors have an average IQ of what? Average doctor IQ, 120 to 130. Average decamillionaire IQ, 115 to 125. It's actually 130 and 118, but the point stands. AI is already more than smart enough than it takes to make money. So you credit code members who will have lifetime access, by the way, through price increases. Some people got it at 300, some people got it at 500, and are going to get all the future price increases is grandfathered in. $500 or $1,000 for the credit code sounds like an insane amount of money, and it genuinely, truly is. But $100 or free is not. And AI is already smart enough to get you to that point. I'll help you make your first few thousand with AI for free, or whatever this costs right now. But either way, it will save you the time. Last thing, and this is, you might want to stick to the end because I might have some multi-$1,000 course worth information. No disrespect to Kevo. I just have a Bentley. He has like, hella Lamborghinis and shit. So give him his credit where it's due, but things he's saying in his new software, my AIs are better, and you guys are gonna see that. Not to say his AIs aren't like very good. I'm trying to like play it safe to still show respect, but just being honest, these niggas have no idea what they're doing with AI. Now, they know a lot about credit. The Metro 2 shit, I'm not even gonna lie, I was a bit sleep on it. Now, credit code members who asked me directly already know that we're no longer sleep on Metro 2. And if you have no idea what Metro 2 is, this is another, you gotta, come on. There's 5 dispute practices. I shouldn't have to say more than that. But yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. But anyways, but they do know a lot about credit, and they're using Metro 2 to wipe literally anything off. I mean, if it wasn't 100% guaranteed you could wipe anything off before now, it is now. Anybody who tells you that does not know about credit, or is just too fucking soft. I see a lot of soft niggas in the credit space that, hey, I don't really want to do that. We're not knocking on the door, we're kicking that motherfucker down. We're putting sticky bomb on the door, okay? And the last thing before I get off here, hopefully you guys have gotten enough sauce. This is the most important thing right here. I don't want to say too much about this. Whether you have like 1,000, I think that's what the mentorship's going for right now, or not. If you are in a position to be on this site, and I really don't want to say too much about this here, because once people really understand the power of this, especially in the current economic climate, especially right before the crash is about to happen, and then riding this through the crash, we gotta have people around. So if you want to talk about this, we can talk about this. But yeah, that's it. Credit code is cheaper than it's ever going to be in the future. I would get that now, or give me a call if you want to talk about this, or if both of those are out of your price range. It's hard for me that free is out of your price range, or $100. Everybody has a fucking $100 if it's $100 right now, but it's probably still free depending on when you're watching this. Or you can go through YouTube, watch every Bandman Kevo podcast. I would say do that. Watch every Bella Sloan Enterprises podcast, Marvin Francois, Geo Reeves, Hood Rich Credit. I mean, there's literally so many. And then reading through every single book that they're talking about in these podcasts, like getting all that information, synthesizing it, which is probably easier with AI. So maybe it doesn't take 6 months, maybe it takes 3 months. However you do it with me. Be my credit friend. I want to be credit pals. But however you do it, get the fucking debt off. At the end of the day, just make sure you're not paying fucking debt.
Okay, yeah. This is it. Breaking down someone's credit report live. This is what people join the credit code for. So before we scroll down, this is actual subscribers report. I changed everything on it, so it's not or credit code members report, not just YouTube subscriber. I changed everything on it so you guys can't see his information. But before